Ma'am, we need to talk now.
You have no idea what you're walking into.
The annual open house at Norfolk Naval Base in Virginia was always a spectacle that drew crowds from all over the East Coast. Families picnicked on the grassy fields overlooking the Chesapeake Bay, where massive gray warships loomed like ancient fortresses under the bright autumn sun. Vendors hawked hot dogs, cotton candy, and patriotic trinkets, while children chased each other with toy fighter jets. Sailors in starched uniforms posed for selfies, sharing stories of deployments with wide-eyed civilians. The air carried the salty tang of the sea mixed with the sizzle of grill smoke and the distant roar of jet engines from a flyover demonstration. It was a day meant for pride and unity, a glimpse into the world of those who served. But amid the cheers and laughter, one woman stood out like a shadow in the sunlight. Sarah Jenkins lingered near the edge of the pier, her worn gray hoodie zipped halfway up, hood pulled low against the breeze. The fabric bore faded letters spelling Navy SEALs, the kind of garment that might come from a thrift store or a long-forgotten drawer. But it wasn't the hoodie that caught eyes, it was the intricate tattoo peeking from her sleeve, a black eagle clutching a dagger, inked with precision on her right forearm. She wasn't mingling or smiling for photos. Instead, she stared out at the rippling bay waters, her posture rigid, as if anchored by memories no one else could see. A retired SEAL named Mike Donovan noticed her first. He'd spent decades in the teams before arthritis forced him into retirement, and his instincts never dulled. From a distance, he scrutinized the tattoo, the eagle's wings curved just so, the dagger's grip etched with subtle lines that screamed authenticity. Fake tattoos were common among posers, but this one nagged at him. He sidled closer, pretending to admire a destroyer in the harbor. "You serve?" he asked casually, his voice gravelly from years of barking orders. Sarah didn't respond, her gaze fixed on the horizon. Donovan's suspicion hardened. He'd seen too many frauds milking stolen valor for free drinks or admiration. He flagged down a pair of military police patrolling the Krauze, young sergeant, and his partner, both looking bored amid the festivities. In hushed tones, Donovan pointed her out, explaining the tattoo's details and her evasive silence. The MPs nodded, their expressions shifting to duty mode. They approached her from either side, boots thumping on the wooden planks. "Ma'am, mind if we have a word?" the taller one said, his tone polite but firm. Sarah turned slowly, her eyes meeting his without a flicker of surprise. "We've got a report of possible impersonation," the other added, gesturing to her arm. A small crowd began to gather, whispers rippling like waves. Stolen valor? Disgraceful. Sarah remained silent as they asked for ID. She handed over a slim wallet containing a Virginia driver's licensino military card, no veteran's badge. The MPs exchanged glances. "You'll need to come with us," they said, cuffing her wrists with a metallic click. Sarah didn't resist, her composure unnerving even the onlookers. As they led her to a waiting vehicle, Donovan watched, a knot of unease twisting in his gut. Posers usually blustered or begged. This woman moved like someone who'd faced worse than handcuffs. The base's holding room was stark, a fluorescent-lit box with a scarred metal table and the faint smell of old coffee. Sarah sat cuffed to the chair, her hoodie rumpled from the ride. Across from her was Sergeant Major Ellis, a burly veteran with a buzz cut and arms like tree trunks. He spread out her wallet's contents. License, a few loyalty cards from local stores, some cash. No service records. "Sarah Jenkins, 42, no military history on file," he said, leaning forward. "Care to explain the SEAL hoodie and that eagle tattoo?" Sarah stared at the wall, silent. Ellis's patience thinned. "This ain't a game. Impersonating a SEAL is a federal crime. That inket's not some parlor doodle. You earn it through hell." Still nothing. He signaled a clerk to photograph the tattoo from multiple angles. "Run it through verification," he ordered. The clerk nodded and left, emailing the images. Minutes dragged into an hour. Ellis tried again. "Silence won't help you." Sarah's lips twitched faintly, not a smile, but something knowing. The door burst open. The clerk returned, face pale. "Sergeant Major, verification flagged it. It's unusual. They're escalating." Ellis frowned. "Unusual how?" "Hold her until he arrives." "He who?" The clerk whispered. "The Admiral, sir." Admiral Thomas Grant was in his office overlooking the bay when the call came. His aide knocked urgently. "Sir, verification on the line. It's about a tattoo an eagle with the Delta variant." Grant's pen stopped mid-signature. The Delta mark wasn't public. It was a covert signifier for Shadowhawk, a Black Ops unit so classified it didn't exist on paper. Dissolved after a botched raid in the Middle East, its members' records were scrubbed, identities buried. Only a few knew the truth. Age of the ink, Grant demanded. 8 to 10 years, sir. Detained civilian, Sarah Jenkins. The name hit like a distant echo. Grant remembered her from a chaotic night in Baghdad. Shadowhawk's final op. Gunfire echoing through alleyways, 2 operators lost. Sarah had been the wild card, pulling them through shadows with unerring precision. "Secure her," he ordered. "No more questions. I'm en route." His convoy sped across the base, drawing stares. Admirals didn't handle petty cases. Grant strode into the holding room, his dress whites impeccable. Ellis snapped to attention. "Sir, clear the room," Grant cut in. Alone with Sarah, he sat across from her, examining the tattoo up close. The Delta mark gleamed faintly. "That tattoo's authentic," he said, his voice low. Ellis, eavesdropping from outside, shifted uncomfortably. Sarah met his eyes. "You said I'd never need it again." Grant sighed. "Times change." He unlocked her cuffs himself. "We talk alone." As the door shut, Grant leaned in. "What happened, Sarah? Why surface now?" Her response was measured. The op never ended. "Someone's running shadows under our flag. Black Ops. Disappearances. I need help before it unravels everything." The revelation sparked a firestorm in Grant's mind. If true, it implicated insiders, perhaps even above his pay grade. Proof. Sarah slid a crumpled map fragment across the table. Coordinates from Shadowhawk's last mission, stained with desert sand. "Verify it." Grant did, his contacts confirming the match. But threats loomed. A mysterious coin appeared in her belongings, engraved with a Shadowhawk emblem, and 7, a warning from those burying the past. Tensions escalated in a secure briefing. Grant confronted Sarah with NCIS agents present. "Your accident in 2017, the crash on I-95. Memory loss, right?" Sarah nodded. "Flashes come back. Training, call signs. They called me Falcon." Agents scoffed, but Grant's jaw tightened. A photo surfaced, a grainy image of operatives in wetsuits, one with her tattoo visible. "Strait of Hormuz, 2014. Hostage rescue. You were point." Memories flooded Sarah. Rotor blades whipping salt air, suppressed fire in the dark. "They erased me to silence me." Alarms blared. The volunteer shelter where she'd been helping flood victims was hit, windows shattered, files stolen. The coin reappeared, signaling hunters closing in. The climax unfolded in a federal courtroom in Richmond, Virginia. Sarah stood trial for stolen valor, the Navy's prosecutors painting her as a fraud. But her defense called Admiral Grant to the stand. The gallery hushed as he entered, medals glinting. "Do you know the defendant?" her lawyer asked. Grant locked eyes with Sarah. "Yes. She served under me in Shadowhawk, a unit denied by the government to protect us all." Murmurs erupted. The prosecutor objected. "No records exist." Grant's voice boomed. "Records were burned after the Baghdad debacle. Sarah Falcon saved lives that night. Her tattoo? Earned in blood. Classified footage played. Drone views of the op. Sarah's figure clear amid chaos. A high-ranking official cracked under cross-examination, admitting the cover-up. "To safeguard secrets, we buried them alive." The jury deliberated tensely, debates raging over erased heroes and governmental overreach. Verdicts like this could topple careers. Finally, they returned, not guilty on all counts. The courtroom exploded. Cheers, gasps, reporters scrambling. Sarah exhaled, vindicated. Outside, under the courthouse steps, autumn leaves, Sarah addressed the press, Grant at her side. "This isn't just my story. It's for every veteran silenced in the shadows, their sacrifices hidden by bureaucracy." Grant added, "Truth demands courage." As they walked away, Sarah felt the tattoo's weight lift, not a curse, but a testament. The hunters might lurk, but exposure had stripped their power. She was free, her service acknowledged, ready to rebuild in the light.